The last time I came to you with this magic wand and a bunch of paper on a wall, it was a lot, okay? And it's going to be a lot again, but just strap in because I promise it's worth it, okay? We have the magic wand out and we're about to discuss some very serious stuff. I've got notes. I've got water. Actually, I need a sip of this right now. Oh, and I've got a microphone, which makes me feel really important. And I cannot wait to tell you all about this behind me. We're just going to dive in. Okay, guys. Hi. I've gathered you all here today. Magic wand, water bottle, very in-depth notes to discuss something that I think some of you may relate to me about. Some of you might not. And that is that 2023 sucked. I don't know if this was only me or if it was everybody. I feel like most people I talked to, we all had kind of a similar year in that meaning it was terrible. We had a terrible year altogether. Now I look back at this year and there was a lot of extenuating, what is that called? Like things that happened to me that just were bad and there's nothing I could have done about it. Okay. I went to funerals, like 6 of my family members died. I was traveling. I got really sick. I had like tragedies happening left and right. Okay. It was just bad. But that being said, now that this year's coming to a close, I'm looking back and I'm like, dude, we can't do this again. Like we cannot have this happen again. Even if I go to 10 funerals this year, we can't have the same year again. Okay. Something needs to change. And I'm like, all right, I need to think about this year. I need to digest it and really sink my teeth into it and figure out how I can make 2024 better than 2023. While on Pinterest, dissecting this year, really thinking about what it all means, I found a graphic that I think has changed the way that I have perceived this year and every other year. Now, listen. This is your warning. I am a bit of a romanticizer, okay? I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. I'm one of those people that believes, like, if you believe it's going to be good, that it'll be good. And somewhere during 2023, I just started thinking, it's going to be bad. And it's just going to keep being bad. And I was right, okay? It just kept being bad. You know, dissecting the year, thinking, how can I make this year better? How can it not suck? I find this. This is the hero's journey chart. Now, this is what some would call a writing tool, okay? So it's something that you use when you're writing a book to describe a storyline, okay? Here's our hero. He starts here. He gets a call to adventure. He is meeting his mentor. Then he crosses a threshold. This is when he goes from his known world to the unknown world, aka decides to go into something, you know, really serious. Take up a new hobby, or I don't know. If you're Harry Potter, this is when you accept the letter to Hogwarts and you go to Hogwarts, okay? Then trials and failure, growth and new skills, death and rebirth. Then we have revelation, finally changes. So this is when he realizes that he needs to change something. Changes, atonement, says sorry for not changing, gets his gift, aka the thing that he's been working towards this whole time. He returns back to his life changed. Why is this so impactful to me? Well, that is because, my friends, it is my belief that I spent all of 2023 right here, death and rebirth. Okay, I think this was my 2023. I think that we can all say that our life is also a hero's journey, okay? That we start here, we get called to adventure, we cross a threshold, okay? For some people, this could be anything. This could be going to college for what you actually want to do. This could be, I don't know, telling someone to screw off and like doing what you want to do and having the courage to be yourself, whatever that is. Okay. For me, this was starting my journey on social media. I crossed the threshold. I said, I want to do this for a living. I want to do this for a living. God knows why. And so I did that. And then I started having trials and failure. I grew new skills. I graduated from college, and then death and rebirth. That was 2023. That's why it sucked. That's why it sucked. I was stuck in these tentacles or something. Look, this is me making sense of the terrible year, okay? And maybe for you, this is 2023 was this portion of your hero's journey too. But you want to know something? You know what comes after the death and rebirth? If you're doing the hero's journey, right? 2024, aka the best year of my life so far, is going to be right here. Revelation, finally changes, atonement, gets gifts. That is going to be 2024 for me. And look, you might be thinking I'm insane because I'm using a Pinterest graphic of the hero's journey, which is a fictional tale, to describe how my life is going to be. But you know what? You mind your own business and I'll mind mine. I warned you, I'm a bit of a romanticizer. Does this make sense? Maybe not to you, but to me, it does. Okay? So this is where we are starting 2024. Revelation. And you know how I know that? Because I went on Pinterest and I found this graphic and I had a revelation. I realized that this year sucked and I need to change something if I want this year, the new year, to rock my socks off, okay? I realized this when finding the graphic and I'm like, all right, if I want to finish my hero's journey, I went through trials, I went through growth and new skills, now I've had a death and rebirth. I'm coming out of this, I'm like, what can we do to make sure this never happens again, okay? What do we do? I'm in the revelation period. I thought about changes that I could make to myself. Look, I can't stop family members from dying. I can't stop terrible things from happening, okay? I can't stop a second pandemic. If a second pandemic wants to come, she's coming, all right? There's nothing I can do to stop her. So if I can't do anything outside of me, what can I do inside of me to have the best 2024 of my life? Because I've decided, I've committed to this. Remember, I have a belief that if you believe something is going to happen, it's just going to happen. So instead of believing it's just going to suck, I'm believing that 2024 is going to be the best year of my life so far. If that's the belief, what habits can I change to make that happen? And I have laid them out for you. Here you go. I have 4 ways, I guess, pillars and then different practices I'm going to be doing to make sure that 2024 is the best year of my life. And I'm sharing this with you because if you also had a sucky 2023, or really any year in general, if there's any year has sucked for you and you want to have a good year this year, this is how we're going to do it. Okay? This is how we're going to do it. Who invented this? Me. I invented it. No therapist, no psychologist, no expert helped me make this. And I'm also basing this all off of a Pinterest graphic I found. And so maybe I'm not the expert here, but hey, what I'm going to tell you right now is the things I have under these pieces of paper, they're not going to hurt you. They are only going to help you, okay? So we're going to get into this. And this is where my notes begin, okay? While also on Pinterest, I found a graphic that talked about treating yourself like a child. What do children need? Love, kindness, structure, flexibility, discipline, okay? I am someone with ADHD, so I'm basically just a fully grown child, and I need somebody to give me structure and to be flexible with me, but kind and encouraging. And look, here's the real tea. I don't have parents anymore because I grew up. They're not dead. They're not my parents anymore. They don't parent me. I mean, they do, but you know what I'm saying. So now guess who gets to be the parent? It's me. I have to be the parent. I hate it. I hate parenting myself, but this is how I'm going to do it so that I can make sure that 2024 is the best year of my life. Here we go. So I realized that a lot of things needed to change if I wanted to have a good year. There were 4 things that I really lacked last year that I think if I had this year and I made a priority, I would have the best year ever. That basically if I followed these 4 things, the rest of my life would fall into place pretty easily. The very first thing I needed to do was create some good habits. And here's the thing about good habits. You have to have something before you can do the good habits. And that something is time. I need time. I'm a busy person, okay? I run this YouTube channel. I have a podcast. I have an Instagram that I keep up with. I have a book club. I read all the time. I have a job. Also, can you believe that? I'm a working woman. I'm a fully grown adult, okay? I also have to feed myself, grocery shop. I have a limited amount of this, okay? And time is the one resource we never get back. You're not gonna get more time. So you have to carve it out of your schedule and you have to find it. This is gonna be the scary one for most of you. And I just want you to hold on, okay? Because if you don't do this, you're not gonna be able to do any of this. And then none of us are gonna have the best 2024 of our life, okay? When I got to the beginning of the end of 2023 in December, I thought, okay, I'm missing a lot of things. I am confused. I need clarity. I need to know what I'm going to do next. And so you know what I did? I deleted Instagram and TikTok off my phone. You do not know how much time scrolling has taken up in my life. Not only time, but just like mental space. And I deleted both of them off my phone, been off of social media for like only 6 days. It feels like it's been months. And I just have really realized that I used to think a lot. I used to just sit around and I would just be thinking about life, about stuff, about whatever it is I needed to figure out. And I would just think. All of 2023, I basically did not think. I scrolled on TikTok. I scrolled on Instagram. It was terrible for my mental health. And anytime I had like a big thing that I needed to worry about, you know what I do? Get on TikTok, get on Instagram. And it sucked so much time. I actually cannot tell you what my screen time is because if I did, I would die of shame. I can't tell you. I literally can't. It's embarrassing. I'm sure yours is similar if you're like me and chronically online. And I mean, you're watching this YouTube video, so we're probably in similar boats here. I realized with my 2 weeks off of social media that the way that I could get time back, the way that I've been getting time back, is limiting my screen time. That sounds so scary. It sounds terrifying. It sounds like something you don't want to do. But listen, I have experienced a clarity that I can't even begin to explain to you from being off of TikTok and Instagram. Do I miss being online? Yes. And I will be back. But I need to be a good parent to myself, okay? If I was my mom right now, I would say, look, we're going to limit screen time, just like parents are doing right now to toddlers. And I remember, am basically a toddler. So the first thing that I'm going to do to make sure that 2024 is the best year of my life is I'm going to be limiting screen time. How will I be limiting screen time, you might be asking? I will only be on Instagram 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Yep, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. That means I get my lunch hour at work, any bathroom breaks I have in the morning before I go to work, and when I clock out at 5, I clock out of Instagram. Maybe this isn't doable for some of you. Maybe you need an extra hour at the end of the day. I only work part-time, so this is still going to give me some of my, scrolling time that I desperately need, or like time to interact or engage. But Instagram and TikTok and like YouTube is also kind of my job. Like I work this like a job. I'm obsessed with it. I put a lot of effort into it, and it's a need sometimes. And I feel like with any job, even if you love it, which I love this so much, you need to have boundaries, and screen time and setting times when I can be online and when I can't, I think is the best way for me to set that boundary. And so maybe you set a different time limit. Maybe you just don't do weekends, or maybe you only do weekends and you are off your phone during the week. I don't know what you're going to decide, but you need to set a limit and you need to stick to it. So mine is going to be, I can only be online 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, because I need the time to get good habits and do other things. And quite frankly, I need the time to think so that I can make cool shit like this. This whole video, this all came from me not being on Instagram and TikTok. So clearly being off of it is going to be helpful to me. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Set a limit for your screen time so that we can get time so that we can do the other things we need to do. Okay. Number 2 thing that I'm going to do to make sure 2024 is the best year of my life. Now that I have all this time on my hands, I have all this time to think. You know what I need? I need mental clarity. This is something that I lacked basically this entire year. I spent all of 2023 confused, not sure what I wanted, which is like so unlike me. I'm like always sure of myself. I always am sure of my decisions. I never feel lost or confused. And in 2023, I felt extremely lost and confused. I never knew if what I was doing was the right thing. I didn't walk with confidence through my decisions. And I really want to have that back. I want mental clarity again. And because I have more time, I'm going to be thinking a lot, which means I need to have some kind of way to sort through my thoughts, and maybe they're sort through my ideas, etc., etc. This year, I had started doing the Artist Way, and in the Artist Way, it's like for recovering creatives to get out of burnout. And every morning they have you do something called morning pages, where you journal every morning for 3 pages, stream of consciousness. That means you just write whatever comes to your brain, even if it's, I don't want to write. Eventually, when you're writing, I don't want to write for 3 pages, you start to write other things because things come to your mind. So my plan is that in order to achieve mental clarity and understand my thoughts that I will be having from all this free time, I am going to journal daily. Journaling daily sounds really scary, but here's the kicker of all of these things. These rules that I'm setting are going to be a little bit malleable. Like, for example, my social media time limits. If I go on a trip that needs to be documented for business purposes, I might modify my time limit, okay? Just like when you're a kid, your parents are like, you're going to bed early tonight so you can have a little bit more screen time, whatever that is. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be a little lenient, a little flexible with myself. And then same with journaling every day. I'm not going to force myself to do 3 pages every day, because if I do that, I might not journal every day. So I just need to at least write 5 sentences down every day. And should those 5 sentences move me forward through pages, I would like that to happen. I would like to write down however I feel, any ideas I have. I just need to be writing in a journal every single day. And I think you should too, because honestly, journaling has given me so much clarity, and it's like having a conversation with yourself. It's also, if you are a spiritual person like me, a great time to hear God in your life. And I think through not being on social media and journaling every day, I will be able to understand God's plan for me much better. And also my own thoughts and feelings much better. So now we have time, mental clarity. The next thing that we need this year, creativity. This is something that in 2023, I basically was without. I am an art major, okay? I went to college for graphic design and advertising. I love to draw, paint, create things. And I previously ran an Etsy shop where I literally just sold my art on stuff. All of 2023, I didn't draw anything. I maybe drew 2 things. That's bizarre for me. That is weird. And not having creativity meant that I wasn't processing what I was going through. I wasn't expressing myself. I wasn't being myself. It felt like I lost a part of myself. Look, not all of you might feel like you need this in your life, and that's okay. But for me to have the best year of my life, I need to regain this skill. I need to get it back somehow. And how I will be doing this is I will be drawing every single day of 2024. Yep, that's right. When I get up in the morning and I journal every morning before I even turn on my phone, I'm also going to draw. Now, this does not have to be anything crazy. I literally, again, in order for this to work, I need to be flexible. So even if I just draw on a sticky note that day, that's fine. I could have 365 sticky notes at the end of this year of just little drawings I've done, and that would make me happy. But I need to draw or make something every single day. So if I spend a few hours painting, I'm not going to make myself draw that day. If I, get on my iPad and create something really like something for fun that I love, then I'm not going to make myself get on a, sticky note and draw every day. But this is something very important to me. And now that I will have time back in my life, I want to start being disciplined creatively. The last time that I felt good creatively was when I was in college. And that was because every day I had assignments and teachers keeping me on track, making me be creative, forcing me to do projects that expanded my mind. There's a very famous quote by Pablo Picasso. It's one of my favorite on earth. And it is, inspiration is out there, but it must find you working. And this is the idea behind this, that if I get out the pencil and even when I have no ideas, I force myself to draw something, the inspiration will find me working and I will be creative again and be able to draw. So now we have time. I'm going to free up my schedule. Then I'm going to get mental clarity through drawing. This is also where I will probably get ideas for projects like the one that I'm doing now, YouTube videos, and all the other creative pursuits in my life. I will then use that clarity and those ideas to create things like videos, thumbnails, draw, paint, whatever that might be, okay? The last thing, and this is probably the most important thing, and it's something we're already doing right now. If you have ADHD, this might have been a jump scare for you. Believe me, I understand. We're going to plan. We are going to plan, okay? If we want to have the best year of our life, it's not something that just happens on its own, okay? It's something that we have to actively pursue and try to achieve, all right? This is like the idea of vision boards and mood boards, right? When you create a vision board, people will say like, oh, you'll even subconsciously be trying to do those things in your life. Last year on my vision board, I said I wanted to travel. And then not even by me trying, I was traveling all the time, okay? I was just falling into travel experiences. So this year, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be planning the best year of our life. And that's why it's going to be the best year, because we're already aware of it and trying to make that happen. How am I going to do this? Well, you're already looking at this. So, hello, we're already on track for that. But also, I'm going to be creating mood boards every month at the beginning of the month for what I want my month to look like. On the first, I'm going to do a reset, and I'm going to make a mood board with photos of what I want that month to look like, things that I want to do, and maybe set a couple goals of events or things I want to plan for me and my friends. That way I can make the best of my months. Last year, I feel like I lost a lot of time and moments and memories, and like months were just slipping by, and I felt like I was missing things like Valentine's Day. I wanted to do like a Galentine's dinner and I didn't do it because you know why? I never planned it. You can't just think it. It needs to have some kind of forethought. So that's my idea. On the first of every month, I'm going to make a little mood board. I'm going to list out maybe an activity I want to do, and then I'm going to pick a date and I'm going to try to figure it out so that I can plan every month. I am also going to be doing something that I said I would never do because I hate doing this. And if you hate doing this too, at least we'll be in this together. Let me get it for you. I'm going to have a planner. I hate planning. I hate planners. I hate them so much. I don't like having to do it every day, but guess what? We're doing some daily things now because we have some free time. And here's something that I do that maybe you do too. Look, I tell people I don't need a planner because I just keep it all up here and we're good, which is true. I've never lost track of anything. I've never missed anything. I'm good. Like I can get all my tasks done, but that's not without stress. When I write down a to-do list and I don't have to think about it anymore, it's on paper, I feel so relieved. And I think that I could have a way less stressful year way less sucky year if I write down the things that I need to do and have them within close range of me. I also decided to get the Panda planner, okay? This is a really awesome planner. I did a lot of vetting. I searched through lots of planners before I decided which one I wanted. I wanted one that would specifically help me track goals and projects, and this one is specifically like directed towards goals and projects. It has you check in every month and every week on what you're doing. It also has you daily write down what you're grateful for and like a little schedule and tasks that need to be done. And I feel like this is the best planner for me. It might not be the best planner for you. I hope that you do research and figure out what your best planner is so that you can plan your best year. But I will be using that, and then I will be using Notion for my mood boards every month. I've been using Notion for years. I love it. It's where I play my YouTube videos. It's where I plan pretty much everything else besides the daily planner stuff. And I think it's gonna be really good for me. I also think it'll be good for me to write down what I'm grateful for every day. It also has a space for affirmations every day, which is something that I've been doing anyways, and now I'll have a place to keep it. So to go over this, we are in the hero's journey, okay? 2023 was our death and rebirth. We're right here, reevaluation. We're gonna finally change, atone, and we're gonna get our gift. Whatever it is we've all been working towards, it's coming this year. We are going to get it, okay? 2023 sucked. 2024, it's gonna rock because we're planning it, all right? We're gonna plan the best year ever. We're gonna limit our screen time so that we have time to do these habits. We're going to get mental clarity through journaling daily. We're gonna get creative by making something every single day, even if it's only a stick figure. That's how I'm gonna have the best year of my life. Look, I cannot have this happen again. This sucked. Mentally, I was drained. I was exhausted. I never felt good. I don't remember feeling good. And I'm not someone who usually doesn't feel good. I always feel good, okay? So this year needs to kick ass. I'm going to list a few more things that I'm going to be doing this year that are just natural things for me that I think are really important for everyone to have a good year. These are just little tools, I guess, to help with all of this. Now, when it comes to planning, I also set yearly goals and check in with them quarterly or monthly. I'm going to continue doing that. And if that's not something that you do, it is something that I think you should adopt if you want this best year ever plan to really work in your favor. Number 2, this is optional for those of you who are not spiritual. I am. I would like to read scripture at least one day a week. I'm going to be doing that during my clarity creativity time. I'm going to try my best to get my Bible out and read it once a week. Do whatever that is for you. Maybe for you, that's personal development. Maybe for you, that's also scripture. Whatever that is, I think I should do it at least once a week. I would like it to be 3 days a week, but I'm going to start with once a week and see where that leads me. I'm also going to be active at least once a week, but really 3 times a week. Between 1 and 3 times, depending on how my week goes. I would like to be active because I think it's going to help with my mental clarity. And I think that time spent outside of my house doing something physical is really helpful for my anxiety and, again, my mental clarity. The last tool that I would really suggest is reading. I read ferociously. I read a lot, and I think that anybody doing my best year ever plan should be reading at least 1 book a month. I usually read between 1 and 5 books a month, depending on how crazy my life is, and I would just like to stick to 1 book a month. Preferably more than that, but at least 1 book a month. A lot of you might be people that read nonfiction, and nonfiction is great for you, and I think you can learn a lot, but I think it's really important to have some kind of escape in your life. And for some of us who can't travel or don't have friends that we can go hang out with all the time, books are the best, cheapest, easiest way for you to escape your daily life. Reading high fantasy, sci-fi, fiction, things that take you away to other places can be really helpful for your brain. It also forces you to relax because while you are reading, you can't be doing anything else. You just can be sitting there and reading, okay? Good for your brain. The last thing that I think you need to do to make this year the best year ever and to stick by this plan is to have an accountability buddy. Guess who mine is? It's you. I'm posting this video on the internet for everyone to see all the things that I'm going to do so that I will stay true to this because I just told everyone that I'm doing this. So now I have to. I'm not saying all of you need to do this. You definitely don't. But find someone in your life, share these ideas with them, what you want to do, and have them help you stick to them. My other accountability buddy is going to be my husband. I have walked him through this whole presentation, okay? He is well aware that I am basing my life off this Pinterest graphic about fiction novels. He knows, okay? And I'm going to make sure that he helps me to do all of these things, to journal every day, to draw every day, to stay off of social media and limit my screen time, and to plan my months. He is going to be my right-hand man in this, okay? And then the last thing that I will leave you with is just try to be flexible with yourself. The whole idea of all of this is that you are parenting yourself, okay? You are going to parent yourself so you have the best year of your life. And when you're a parent, sometimes you give in, sometimes you let yourself have a break. You know, if you miss drawing one day because you woke up early to go to church and then you had a family emergency, don't be rude to yourself, okay? Sometimes that just happens and we're not going to we're accidentally going to miss something, and that's okay. Don't be mean. We're going to have discipline, but we're not going to be too hard on ourselves, okay? Really, the idea is that these are going to change our lives and make our year the best. Through doing all of this, through planning, clarity, creativity, being in touch with our inner selves, I think it's going to help us achieve our goals and know more about what we want for the next year. And then through all this time off, we're going to plan events that we really want to go to and spend our time the way we want to. We're going to get our time back from TikTok and Instagram, damn it. Even if we do this for a living, like me. All right. That's pretty much it. I hope you loved my rant. If you decide that you also want to have the best year of your life, drop something in the comments, okay? Again, I'm not a specialist. I'm not a psychologist. I am not literally anything probably worthy of setting something like this up, but I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing so that hopefully you can also have a great year. What you do with that information is completely up to you. But I know that this year cannot suck because I cannot do this again. Anyways, I love you guys so much. And if you decide to do this challenge with me and you would like to have the best year of your life, please let me know. And also, I will be here every month, the first of the month. Well, around the first of the month. I don't know when the video will go up, but I will be resetting every month with you and letting you know exactly how this is going for me and if it is really giving me the best year of my life or not. I'm kind of like a little guinea pig. We're doing a little experiment, and I'm going to tell you whether this works or not. Who knows? Maybe it's terrible, and then I find out and we stop doing it, but I don't think so. I feel like this is going to be a good year. I know that 2024 is going to be the best year of my life. Say it with me. 2024 is going to be the best year of my life so far. All right, guys. I will see you someplace else on the internet, and I will be just living life over here. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with my best year ever.
Now I'm stuck in the rain, dealing with all this pain. Why you gotta do me like that? Don't say you love me.